Good evening. I'm George Herbeck, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now Kentucky, and we do have an update for you regarding tonight's storms, if you will. We'll give it about a minute or so before we get started on here. Of course, we allow everyone a minute or two to get in here and settle in before we get started on things. I know sometimes notifications can go out slower or faster depending upon your internet connection, so I'll try to make sure I wait a little bit. Why is my camera like not centered? That's really going to irritate me. There we go. Anyway. Of course, as you're coming in, if you would not mind, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. That helps us out. Also helps get the video on your news feeds. That way your friends and family can view it as well. So thank you very much for your help with that. And thank you to everyone that's already liking the broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. We're live on both platforms tonight, I believe. Let me just make sure that's all working real quickly. Of course, if you're coming in here, you have not missed anything. We're just kind of getting started, allowing folks to get rolling in here. Of course, we do have a severe threat tonight. And I think we'll have a watch come out here very soon for portions of Kentucky. We'll talk about that. Of course, let me go ahead and mute that up real quickly. All right. Awesome. Okay. And make sure we're live on YouTube. Sometimes this is... Oh, we are dropping frames. That's not good. We are lagging. We are lagging. I'm very sorry about the choppy stream. Hopefully it comes back up. It's just going to be one of those nights, isn't it? It's just going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Is the stream lag in front of you? I'm assuming it is. Let me just double check a few things here. It's just going to be lagging tonight, isn't it? It's just going to be one of those nights. I already know it. Love the WeatherWise hat. I do too. They made some cool stuff. I can't talk about it too much, I don't think. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it. Of course, once again, if you are just now hopping in here, again, you have not missed a thing. It's not lagging for you guys. That's insane because I'm dropping frames like crazy. It seems to be stabilizing a little bit now. Now, there it goes. Anyway, if it does lag, I'm sorry about that. We haven't had that issue in a long time. So again, I apologize if you guys see that. If you are just now hopping into the broadcast, we're going to give it about 15 to 20 more seconds before we start diving into everything. You have not missed a thing. Storms are knocking on the door of Western Kentucky. They're moving pretty slow. So we got some time to give you a quick update here. And of course, as you guys know, if anything does pop off in, crazy tonight, we will be live here with you guys. So make sure you're following, hitting the subscribe notification button, all that. You guys know all that good stuff. All right. I want to say hi to a few people while we're waiting here. Joyce, good evening to you. Frankie, thank you guys for letting me know how it's looking. Dent on YouTube, hello. Emma, hello. LC, Chris, Jen, thank you guys again for letting me know how it's looking. I don't know why my broadcast is reporting that we're dropping a lot of frames. If you guys are saying it's not lagging, we're good to go. So anyway, okay. Metro, that's the way to go. We haven't had any real issues. Most times when we have issues, it's either because there's storms happening in Brandenburg, because we have Brandenburg Telephone Company, or something's wrong with my hardware. Those are the two times. Brandenburg, we switched from Spectrum a little bit like a year or two ago, and it's been lights. And it's been what is it called? Light years better. God, I couldn't think of that. Okay, let's get to look at what we're looking at. Here's the live radar. As of 7:18 p.m. Eastern Time. In blue here, you have a special weather statement. In brown, you have a wind advisory. Special weather statement is going to be for 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, I think is what they had that at. Yeah, 25 to 35 there. In brown is your wind advisory. Again, that's going to be for 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, up to 40 mile per hour expected. And isolated gusts up to 45 to 50. It is important to remember, this is without storms. This is going to be here from midnight-ish to about noon-ish tomorrow, okay? So again, these are without storms. This is what we've been talking about. These are the wind gusts that are coming in as part of the cold front. Tomorrow's going to be, it's going to feel insanely cold to some people. The temperature crash is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be almost a 30-degree difference over a 24-hour span. Just absolutely insane. So I just want to point out once again, before we start getting into everything, if you are just now hopping in here, you have not missed a thing. These two boxes here, or two colors here that you're seeing on your screen right now, those are for the winds expected tonight and lasting even after the storms are gone tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. The winds will stick with us until even beyond the storms leave, okay? So back out here to our west, I'm going to zoom out real quickly. You can see all this action going on. Just an insane amount of action going on, stretching all the way from, looks like Michigan, all the way down to Louisiana. So a huge storm complex here. The reason for that is, and these drawings are not going to be 100% perfect. And of course, I will show you the model data, the newest AI data, as well as the SPC risk. So we still have all that to talk about. You have not missed a thing. There's a low pressure somewhere up here, so not going to be perfect. There's a low pressure somewhere right in here. Again, not going to be perfect. Probably actually back in here. No. That is down here. Okay. And what is happening here is this is trying to get pulled all the way up here. This is the stronger one. At the same time, there's Gulf moisture coming up and a cold front is crashing down. 9 times out of 10 when that happens, you do get severe weather. We learned that in elementary school. Cold and hot do not mix. Okay, red here is a tornado watch all the way down here. It's not for Kentucky. Severe thunderstorm watch in yellow there. No watch here. There was a watch. I don't know if they canceled it or expired. I wasn't really paying attention back out there toward Missouri and Illinois. Nonetheless, there is an 80% chance if I go over here and click on our mesoscale discussion. If I can scroll all the way down. Wow, there's got to be a hotkey for that. I'm just missing. Actually, they canceled the mesoscale discussion, so maybe there is not going to be a watch issued, which I would not be too surprised because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is not anything remarkable. I'm gonna turn off some of these warnings real quick so you can kind of see a little bit better here. Scroll all the way back up. Turn those off for a second. This line of storms, it's not been all too impressive. I do think that once it gets into Kentucky, I'll kind of zoom in here. I do think once it gets into Kentucky, we have a little bit of an enhancement of the winds above our head, about 5,000 to 7,000 feet up. And when that occurs, I do think these storms will intensify a bit. So I do think, what's up, Bo? So I do think somewhere around this area does have a chance to see quite a bit of damaging winds, if not a quick spin up potential. And that pretty much matches the forecast that we posted earlier today. So I feel pretty confident about that. And we basically base that off of where the best overlapping of all the wind energy was. The problem with this storm system today, let me back this camera up. I can't even see what I'm doing here. The problem with this storm system today is the better storm fuel for storms is located down here. And this is where you're seeing all your tornado watches and a few warnings. Even that's probably underperforming a bit. The problem with us is if I go over here and click this and look at this absolutely insane mess, I'll break it down for you. Don't get overwhelmed. Okay, I know this is a lot. Turn off the radar there real quickly. The problem with us is, as you can see down here, all those reds are indicating that there are some CAPE values or some storm fuel. Basically, gas for a car to go is what storm fuel is for a storm to go. And if you look into Kentucky, there's not a whole lot there. Matter of fact, there's a lot more blue. And the blue indicates a negative storm energy or blocking storms from trying to get going. Or in this case, would make them massive rainmakers. Now it's going in and out. I'm sorry about that. Again, it's going to be lagging a little bit tonight. I have no idea what's going on with the internet. I do apologize about that. We'll try to quickly get through here, and I'll make a post that kind of dictates or let you guys know what to expect as well. Anyway, the problem with us is we don't really have well, I guess a good thing if you look at it that way is we don't have any real storm fuel to go off of until it gets to about right here between I-65 and back over here where we drew that drawing before. So again, I do think there will be a handful of severe warnings tonight, maybe for damaging winds. I can't rule out a tornado warning or two, but that doesn't look overwhelmingly likely. Okay, what it's mainly looking like is a lot of winds and rain. Let me go to the model data real quickly to show you the model data. Actually, wind risk for tonight. And you can see it kind of flashes there in western Kentucky and goes into western Indiana between about 10:15 to 11:15 p.m. Eastern time, so in about 3 hours or 4 hours or so. Okay? And then it kind of wavers out of here a little bit and gets to a really low scale in central Kentucky, as you can see up here. Here's this very small key for you. Again, about a 15 to 20% chance, so not anything too remarkable there. And then it kind of goes away. So you can see the better risk is definitely going to be in western Kentucky, and that's for winds. Here is your tornado risk according to the StormNet AI. And as you can see here, it pops up a little bit in western Kentucky, maybe around 10%, which is not a whole lot at all. On this key scale, if you will. But again, is it lagging that bad? Okay. Is it lagging that bad? I don't know why it's lagging though. Let me do something real quickly. Why is it lagging so bad? We're going to investigate this together. Oh. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Let's do a packet loss test here. No packet loss, really. But back down, came back, and it's been fine. I have no lag at all on YouTube. Not real bad, just somewhat. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look terrible. Let's just try to get through the video here and see what happens. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that though. It's really not even. I don't even know why it's doing that. It just lagged in the speed test. That's really ironic. But anyway, the chances for tornadoes and wind damage has decreased today. But again, that's kind of the overall threat there from the AI. Here is the actual model data here going through the next few hours. So if I do cut out, just look up here at the top left where my cursor is. That's the time frame there. Here is the date, okay? So if it's this forward, you'll see there is the potential for some prefrontal supercells to maybe pop up. Don't hear that and get too alarmed. I think these will mainly be wind producers more than anything. By about 8 to 9 p.m. in western Kentucky, those are traveling north, while the line is traveling west to east. So they can enhance each other for a brief moment. Okay? Advance this forward about 10, 11 p.m. Eastern time. You'll see that that storm system is now moving its way into western Kentucky, and you can see what I mean, or what I mean. It briefly intensified over there toward, like, let's say Henderson, Madisonville, going down toward Murray, Hopkinsville, those areas. If that line briefly intenses and then it really just kind of goes away, it just really doesn't do a whole lot of anything. Maybe a secondary line by about 5 a.m. creates itself in west central Kentucky and then pushes out to the east. Again, just not a whole lot of anything, folks. Again, and this is why I from the jump with this system, I immediately was like, I'm seeing all these posts and videos about a tornado outbreak or severe weather outbreak. I'm just like, God, it's just not there. Now, we have been posting about the damaging wind threat, and that absolutely is there. But again, as far as like an outbreak or anything, it just, I mean, look at this. You guys can see it for yourselves. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out. That doesn't look like a whole lot. Again, and it pretty much fades by the time it gets to I-65. So again, just not looking at a whole lot. There will be quite a bit of lightning with it. Well, actually, there won't be quite a bit of lightning because of the CAPA values are so low. Kind of misspoke on that a little bit. But again, it's just mainly a western Kentucky event. By the time it gets out toward eastern Kentucky, most of it fades away. Maybe some rain and winds tomorrow morning going until around lunchtime. But that's about it. That's about it. So again, hopped on YouTube, no more lagging. Okay, so maybe YouTube is the move. I don't know why it's doing that though. The reason that this is getting more focused than it probably would, Brian Good and I were talking about it today a little bit, is that it's the first event of fall severe weather season. It's like the first snowfall, even if it's a real little dusting or just some flurries. It's going to get a major focus on it because it's the first real storm threat. And again, there may be 4, maybe 5 severe warnings tonight for damaging winds. If we see any more than that, I would be actually shocked. And again, most of those will be over here into western Kentucky by Madisonville, Morganville, Calhoun, Owensboro, Hopkinsville, Princeton. And then by the time it gets towards central Kentucky, it pretty much fades. And then it really fades by the time it gets into eastern Kentucky. So here's the forecast we made earlier. I'll show you that real quickly. Right here. I don't know if you can see it very well on that screen. So let's just go to this screen. Here's the forecast we made earlier. And right now, I feel very good about it. I feel very good about it. Here's how it reads. Time frame is only for the severe window for the colored areas. So that's at 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's the only severe window I see. Storms enter West Kentucky near 9 p.m. Eastern time. That looks to be on pace because you can see it's knocking on the door right there. And it is moving a little bit slower. And then we may see a few supercells traveling south to north jump in front of the line. So let's see if that's happening. We do see some cells trying to jump in front of the line if they can grow and get going there. And again, I made this forecast all the way back at like 2 o'clock, I think. I don't even know. But 4% tornado risk in red, which is this color. 2% in the burnt orange is in that color. Main risk still remains as damaging winds. Winds will gust to 35 to 50 mile per hour before, during, and after the storms are here. So remember that. Even when the storms aren't going to be here, the winds will stick with us. So that's the only real annoying part. So if you haven't already secured any outdoor items or decorations for Halloween, make sure you do that. Hopefully you already did. You probably already lost a couple. But again, that's really it, guys. It's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. And that's what I've been trying to tell folks that are asking me, what should we do? Should we freak out? Should we panic? No, it's not a big deal. No one needs to seek shelter tonight, unless, of course, there's a warning that comes out. We will tell you about that. But no one needs to, like, this is not an event where we're telling you, you got to go somewhere else before the event starts. You know, always have your backup plans. Always have plans in place in case things turn sideways. Because I can't rule out a tornado warning or two tonight. But even if it does, it shouldn't be anything of the very violent or significant nature because, again, we're lacking the storm fuel incredibly. Basically, you think about it like this. These storms are in the car ready to go, but there's only a little bit of gas in the car, so it can't really go very far. And that's exactly what's happening. We just don't have enough gas in the car, which is a good thing. No real crazy severe threat tonight. If we do see a few severe warnings, it will be for 60, maybe 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts, mainly in the western half of Kentucky. As far as the eastern half of Kentucky, no real severe threat at all, in my opinion. You could see 1 or 2 severe warnings for 60-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow morning. But again, even that's, I mean, it's just not a big deal, guys. It's just not. It's just not. I don't want to be that. I saw an incredible amount of posts and videos talking about this incredible outbreak, and it's just not that. It's just not that. So a single wide in McCreary County is good. Again, just have a backup plan, because obviously a single wide trailer is one of those weaker structures that even a straight line wind damage event can take out. So just make sure. Let me save that link real quick. Pull it over here. Let me save that link that person just put in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will work on that tomorrow. But again, folks, for those of you just now that might be tuning in, here's our forecast for tonight. Again, it's not a big event. It's not. No one needs to seek. I still seeing questions about it. No one needs to seek shelter right now. Just have a backup plan. 99% of you are not going to need any real backup plan tonight. There is only going to be, if there is a tornado warning in Kentucky, of course we will let you guys know. And while I can't rule it out, it is a very, very, very low opportunity. A very, very, very low opportunity. Of course. Sorry, I kind of forgot I had the Kentucky game on in the background. I was making sure it wasn't my camera. I didn't want to get banned. Again, here's the forecast for tonight. Just kind of look at that, if it's already on our page as well. Caitlin says, can we see any hail with these storms? If we do see any hail, it would likely be of the very small variety. It wouldn't really be anything too concerning, in my opinion. Here's the line that's coming through here now, and you see there's only one severe warning with it. And it's for 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's it. There's no warnings to the north there. Even down here in the tornado warning area, look, there's no warnings. It's all special weather statements. So this is very much an underperforming event so far. I do, once again, want to reiterate that by about 10 o'clock or so, the better winds above our heads begins to move in. So there may be a brief enhancement of these storms. Again, if I had to circle that area, I'll circle it for you real quick. Let me zoom in real far here. Go back up here to my main screen, give my sponsors some love, since they're the reason we could be here for you guys 24/7. We don't do any ads on our alert day videos. They know that, and they're okay with it. But I still want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here for you guys 24/7. Without them, there is not a 24/7 Weather Now in Kentucky. So I hope you guys consider supporting them in any way you can. So if there is any real enhancement tonight, it's probably like right in there. And again, that's probably about it. So again, that's 70% of Kentucky that really, to me, doesn't really have anything to worry about. I mean, seriously. Morning, and then a very strong cold front tomorrow. So that's about it, really. Not really much has changed. Not really much has changed. Yes, Chris. All right. That's going to do it for us here. I'm going to hop off the broadcast, look at the new data coming in, watch the radar. If you did just now hop in here, we have mods in here. I haven't seen anything super inappropriate. You know, as long as we just ignore them, that's usually fine. Yes, anyone can sleep tonight. No, even the circled area, don't get confused, guys, we are really I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think there's a lot of overreaction, and I'm not saying in a bad way. You guys know I love you. I'm saying this to help you. There's a lot of overreaction happening in the chat right now. Everyone take a breath. No one needs to be like super concerned tonight. The only reason I circled that area over Madisonville, Morganfield, Hopkinsville, Murray, Paducah is just because it has really the potential for straight line damaging winds. That's really it. Okay, so if you did miss any of this broadcast, it will be available on YouTube and Facebook here in a few moments once we wrap this up. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Until next time, stay safe, friends.